Probably offensively, I thought we attacked pretty consistently the whole game. Didn't settle a whole lot. A couple times late first half we settled, but otherwise I thought we attacked the paint pretty well and got ourselves some good shots. And then guys definitely shot the ball well. I think 50, 40, 100. It's hard to beat that. So, yeah, I'd say the offensive side.
To get the three imports out there for a fair portion of the game together and see what they could do, they look powerful. Was that a real pleasing part of the game for yourself?
Yeah, no, for sure. The guys play hard. We continue to be shorthanded, so we got to make our minutes count. And I think like Mike beside me, for example, did just that. He had 17.5 minutes. He's still kind of being contained by the training staff, and he was plus 21 in those 17.5. I thought Bryce had a great all-around game, and obviously Vic kind of put the team on his shoulders there for a couple minutes at the end, and all three plus our other guys all contributed a lot tonight.
Vic's obviously had an interesting couple of days with being cited and it's not on Friday night. What did you say to him coming into the game with all that sort of hovering around him?
I didn't say too much, to be honest. It is what it is. He got cited, as you'd said. It's not my money, so he can figure that part out. And the only thing I really said to him was that, two things. Number one, he's got to be a little extra careful now because if something else happens, he could be, considered a repeat offender. I'm not sure if that plays into the decision-making process of the punishment. And the other thing is, you just got to be careful that, he could have been punished during a game, with an ejection or, maybe pick up a cheap foul where he fouls out later. We just need him in the game, so he's got to be able to control himself a little bit better than what he showed, and I'm sure he's going to learn from it.
So I'm assuming he's going to take the fine and not challenge it and risk a suspension then?
He better be writing that check, yeah.
Michael, your first starting performance tonight, how did you find the body going through and as you did in building minutes and the confidence with your own teammates and working out where you sort of fit into this lineup?
Yeah, it felt good. It's a process, though, so just trying to take it one day at a time, one game at a time. Do what the coaching staff asked me, do what the medical staff asked me, and so far, I feel like it's working. So I'm just trying to stick to the plan and stay true to the process. And, what's important is at the end of this season. So we're kind of looking at the big picture.
So the quarantine and then the pre-season issue with just feeling sore and then this one as well. Do you feel like you're anywhere near full fitness, or are you a mile off and just trying to build it gradually to try to get yourself back?
Yeah, it takes time, but I think the biggest thing is just not being frustrated, knowing that it's going to take time, and be patient with myself and trust what the training staff and the coaching staff is telling me to do. And I know I'll get there, game by game, day by day. So just trying to focus on that more than anything.
Scott, for the first time tonight this season, you led the rebound count. First time, and how proud of that?
Yeah, no, like I said, I was proud of the effort the guys had. I don't think we were great defensively. They got to give credit to Tasmania. They really did a number on us in the second half, I thought, with their offense. And like I told the team after the game, we shot 50, 40, 100, but we want to be able to win games when we shoot 20, 20, 60. And I don't think that would have been the case tonight, giving up 83 points. So happy to get a win. Never turned down a win, but credit to Tasmania. They gave us a lot of good film to watch, and we're going to have to really pick up our defense. They didn't have a great shooting night, so that leads to a lot more rebounds. So that played a part as well. But I thought our guys did a pretty good job, blocking out. We've improved that the last two games, so it's a good sign.
You're going to be on the road for the next about a month. Last season, obviously, none of you were there, but the NBL Cup, the Wildcats spent a good portion of the season away from Perth. What's it going to be like?
Well, it's interesting. I was lucky enough to be part of the NBA bubble, where they moved all the teams from areas of more threat to an area that was safe. And this is like the reverse bubble, where they're moving us from somewhere that's safe to somewhere where that's more of a threat. I don't really get that, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm not sure why the teams just aren't coming here where there's no COVID. But whatever, we gotta do our best to. That's part of the that's one of the opponents now is the virus and everything else. So we have to do our due diligence to avoid getting infected, for one thing. Stick to the rules, be careful, stuff like that. And then in terms of the mental side of things, we got to be mentally tough. And, those of us that have families here in Perth, it's not the best to drag everybody over here and then get kicked out for 6 weeks. So I feel bad for my family and the other guys that have families. And we talked to the team about this being an opportunity to kind of gel as a unit. We all have different things that we're dealing with, but we have this one thing in common where we are put in a different place, and we have no excuses but to prepare our best and become a solid unit so we can use it as a positive in terms of a basketball point of view, even though the rest of it's pretty negative.
Tonight was a record attendance for the Perth Wildcats, 13,615. How much does that mean to the players and the entire staff at the Wildcats that the fans support the club so strongly?
Oh, it means a lot. I mean, this is a great place to play and coach. There's no question about it. I think I said it before the first game. I think it's probably one of the best fan bases in the world in terms of basketball. I mean, the numbers dictate that, and the history and the passion that everyone shows. So as a coach, I can't speak for the guys, but I'm sure they would probably echo the same thing. As a participant, it's much more enjoyable to be somewhere where they care and they support you and they got your back, and it just makes things more enjoyable. I think we're all competitors, so we're all trying to win, and getting a win or loss is the biggest thing. But it's nice. It's a nice cherry on top for sure to be playing somewhere where you feel so valued and important.
I know how much you love to talk about injuries. Sean Redditch said on the broadcast tonight that Hodgson should be expected back next week.
Well, if that's what he said, I'm looking forward to it.
Michael, just one for you. Sometimes imports come into this league and they have to dominate for their team. You obviously have Vic and Bryce as your teammates. How much does that help? You just come in, try to find your feet, settle into the team rather than having that pressure to dominate. How much of a help is that?
Well, I mean, I came here to win, so I'm going to do anything that I can to help my team win. And obviously those guys are great players, so there's definitely an aspect of being able to be patient with myself as I come along and, kind of coming into the team late and trying to see where I fit in. But at the end of the day, I think, my main goal was to come in and help this team win. So that's what I've been focused on more than anything.
You touched on it before as well, but how frustrating has it been up until this point to get back on the floor, and how relieved are you to be back on the floor and now you can start building from here?
Yeah, very relieved. It's been a long process to finally get here, but I'm happy that I'm here and, excited to continue building and, working hard and continue to stack wins.
Thank you.
Got a final question, is anyone?
Scott, 9 days now, I think it's 9 until you play again. Is that ideal for you, or is that difficult to manage after getting the season underway?
No, I think given all of the wear and tear we've had the last 3 weeks, it's probably a good thing to have a break. And being that it's Christmas and we're going to be away from our families for a long time, those of us that have them, like I said, it'll be a nice chance to get a day or two of a little bit lighter work to spend time, and then gear up for it's going to be a really tough game in Adelaide.
And talking wear and tear and players that need a rest, how's Todd Blanchfield? Where are we at, and how long can we expect him to play?
I don't really know the answer to that, to be honest. He got his scans yesterday, and I knew he wouldn't be playing today, so I'm leaving that with the medical team. And I think they're still getting some opinions on the scan. All I'll say is it wasn't the worst case scenario, so that was a good thing. And we're hoping for closer to the best case scenario, but we'll probably find out this week.
Scott, really a couple of days ago you indicated that the families are probably going to travel with you and set up base in Tassie. Has that changed, that the families are now going to stay here because of maybe the threat that's in the state, or what's going to go on with all of that?
I mean, I'll have to check the tape on that one. I think I said they were capable or able to travel if they wanted to, and I'm not really sure which ones are choosing to travel and which ones aren't. But we'll have a nice setup there, and there'll be room for them to come if they want on everyone's own expense. But I think it's still a lot to ask for. You know, I've been here for a few weeks and I don't want to leave. So it's kind of a tough ask for, you know, families and young kids to drag them out of whatever their routine is, to bring them over to Tasmania to stay in a hotel for 40 days. They'll be on their own when we travel to games. So there's just too many unknowns. So it's a real gamble to travel. But hopefully a couple people can bring someone. They're able to come if they want. I'll leave it at that.
And just finally, we asked the Tassie guys about this as well. This pre-game with the minute silence for the coaching in Devonport during the week and having the 6 faces on the screen. What does that do for either of you as the crowd silent for that time? I mean, when you look at that, does it impact you before a game like that? Yeah, you automatically think about how devastating it's been for that state and for the people involved.
Oh, well, it has nothing to do with the game. It's just a ridiculous tragedy. Just really feel bad for the parents. There's enough to worry about as a parent, as many people know. It's just like nonstop worries about your kid. And then to have your kid go to a bouncy castle and have tragedy strike like that, it's just unimaginable. I feel bad even just being out here. Knowing that happened back there. So there's really nothing you can do other than, you know, there's really nothing you can do. It's just, they're not going to get those kids back. So I just really feel for them, try and pray best I can. But yeah, it had nothing to do with the game. It's just a tough one. Sorry.